susuko, maglalaro to ng buong puso. Kaharlika, Pilipinas, handa nang magpakitang gilas. Ito ang liga ng Pilipina, takas bandera, walang mahina.
Ito ang liga ng bawat Pilipinang maharlika. Buong bansa'y makikita ang husay ng bawat Pilipina. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Buong bansa'y makikita ang husay ng bawat Pilipina. Ito ang liga ng bawat Pilipinang maharlika. Buong bansa'y makikita ang husay ng bawat Pilipina. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Buong bansa'y makikita ang husay ng bawat Pilipina. Panabik na tagpo, handang-handa lahat sa paglalaro. Ilabas ang tinatagong talento, maharlika. Walang imposible, aabante, hanggang sa makamit ang tagumpay. Ito ang liga ng bawat Pilipinang maharlika. Ito ang liga ng bawat Pilipinang maharlika. Buong bansa'y makikita ang husay ng bawat Pilipina. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Buong bansa'y makikita ang husay ng bawat Pilipina.
Maipakita ang mga nakatago ng talento ng Pinay sa tagisan at pagalingan, handang ipamalas anong kayang ibigay. Kaya-kaya talaga na maipagsabayan, kabibilibin sa kadalaban ng galawan. Sa ganito larangan, masasaksihan na kakayanan ng ating kababaihan.
Dugo at pawis na ang puhunan, bawat ensayo ay tututukan. Hanggat may oras, hindi susuko, maglalaro to ng buong puso. Kaharlika, Pilipinas, handa nang magpakitang gilas. Ito ang liga ng Pilipina, takas bandera, walang mahina.
Ito ang liga ng bawat Pilipinang maharlika. Buong bansa'y makikita ang husay ng bawat Pilipina. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Buong bansa'y makikita ang husay ng bawat Pilipina. Ito ang liga ng bawat Pilipinang maharlika. Buong bansa'y makikita ang husay ng bawat Pilipina. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Buong bansa'y makikita ang husay ng bawat Pilipina. Panabik na tagpo, handang-handa lahat sa paglalaro. Ilabas ang tinatagong talento, maharlika. Walang imposible, aabante, hanggang sa makamit ang tagumpay. Ito ang liga ng bawat Pilipinang maharlika. Isa lamang ang layunin. Oh, 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 oh. Basketballista ang Pilipina, sama-sama. Ito ang liga ng bawat
puso, kaharlika Pilipinas, handa nang magpakitang gilas. Ito ang liga ng Pilipina, takas bandera, walang mahina.
Ito ang liga ng bawat Pilipinang maharlika. Buong bansa'y makikita ang husay ng bawat Pilipina. Ito ang liga ng bawat Pilipinang maharlika. Buong bansa'y makikita ang husay ng bawat Pilipina. Buong bansa'y makikita ang husay ng bawat Pilipina.
Many round robins eliminations have passed, and now it is time to separate those who are contending from those who are willing to continue the fight here at the Paranaque City Coliseum, where we will be hosting 4 teams, but eventually only 2 will come out on top, and it depends kung mag-e-extend pa ba ang serye natin. Depende sa gagawin ng mga teams na nasa ibabang seed. Welcome to the second season of the Wmpbl Pro, ang liga ng bawat Pilipina. This is time to showcase the next as we are going to be moving forward for 2 games para sa araw na ito. There are 2 different fates as to what could potentially happen. We can extend the series or we can end it and proceed to the semifinals here and now. Isang magandang hapon sa lahat ng ating mga manonood. My name is Hans Galeria. Joining me here is Coach Anton De Los Reyes. And of course, we have Flo Del Agua at courtside. Anton, this is a major milestone para sa Paranaque Coliseum because I think this is the first time that we're going to be here all the way.
I think so as well. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the quarterfinals of the Wmpbl. This is the regular season. Great to be working with you again, Hans.
Yep, it's been solid for all of us right from the start up until the finish, and we've seen the standings from last month, last week, but now we're looking at the playoff picture. We are at the portion of the quarterfinals where those that are not 1 or 2 seeds will be battling it out.
That is correct. You've got the number 3, 4, 5, and 6 teams. Of course, number 3 team, Biñan Tatak, Gel, Angel, Sailun, Tires. They've got the twice to beat advantage versus the number 6 seed, Caloocan, Kings Athletic, Lady Kankaloo. Later on, it's going to be Quezon City, the number 4 seed, Tenacity, RK Hoops going up against Queen Pin Basketball Pasig at the number 5 seed.
Kaya nabanggit din natin kanina na posibleng mag-end yung serye o yung mga laro ngayong araw sa dalawang paraan. But looking at the first matchup of the day, it has been Caloocan struggling against Biñan in certain scenarios where the difference has really been stark.
Oh, they have been struggling. First round and the second round, they lost both matchups versus this Biñan Tatak Gel squad. Yung first round nila, 102-67, it was a 35-point win para sa Biñan Tatak Gel. Nung round 2 naman, it was an 88-48 drubbing against, of course, Biñan Tatak Gel. Bigger margin, 40 points. That game, it was from wire to wire. They were down all throughout, down by as much as 42 points. Tried to make a run, but just poor field goal shooting at 22%. No players in double figures para dito sa side ng Caloocan Lady Kankaloo.
And, you know, if you're looking at the season statistics for Caloocan, it seems like they're playing around their wheelhouse. 67 per game compared to, you know, Biñan scoring 79 already. So meron yata silang mga ilang bagay na po pwedeng gawin. Kindly give us some pointers on what should the 2 teams be able to do to get this win?
For Biñan, it's just to continue what they're doing, shoot that 3-pointer. They're shooting it very well from the outside. They're plus 17 in terms of points. Para naman dito sa side ng Caloocan, they just need to keep it close. Try to be there at the end game and try to pull this win out.
You know, I honestly wonder what the idea behind the coaching staff, the mentality, the approach of these 2 teams are going to be moving into this game. Kaya naman, i-welcome na natin ang ating 3rd member of the panel, Flo. The floor is yours.
Maraming salamat, Hans and Coach Anton. May I just say you are both looking very sharp this afternoon at mabuhay mga ka-WMPBL. I'm so glad na nabanggit ni Hans kung ano nga bang mentality ng Caloocan Kings Athletics Lady Kankaloo papunta sa laro na ito, at nabanggit din ni Coach Anton na they just have to be there, they just have to be present, dahil yan din mismo ang nabanggit sa akin ng kanilang usual leaders na sina Janet Season at Sophie Felizarta. Sabi nila sa akin, they are only one decision away from transforming their destiny dito sa ating tournament. At alam niyo po, ngayon ko lang na-discover na ito palang sina Season at Felizarta ay mga coaches outside of this tournament, at lagi daw nilang tinuturo sa kanilang mga players na kapag playoffs na at knockout game na, dapat times 10 ang sense of urgency. So Sophie and Janet both told me earlier that regardless of placement and regardless of what happened in the past, today and in this very afternoon, anything is possible. At malalaman nga po natin yan in just a few minutes. Once again, mga ka-WMPBL, this is the quarterfinals. Let me turn you over to our venue announcer to call the starting fives.
Magandang araw mga kaliga. We are at the Paranaque Coliseum in the city of Paranaque for the quarterfinal round of the second season of the Women's Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League regular season. Ang Liga ng Bawat Pilipina. Broadcasting live through our Facebook and YouTube channel. It's our first game of our Wednesday's doubleheader, featuring the number 3 seed Biñan Tatak Gel Angels Sailun Tire, going up against the number 6 seed Caloocan Kings Athletics Lady Kankaloo. Biñan has the twice to beat advantage in this series. Let us now meet the starters. First, for the Biñan Tatak Angels Sailun Tire. At center, number 15, Ara Abaca. At court, number 23, Justin Domingo. At forward, number 38, Chuchi Paraiso. The other forward, number 43, Luisa San Juan. And the other guard, the slick assassin, number 12, Monique Del Carmen. Their head coach is Jack Ascueta. Assistant coaches, Mar Arsola, Alan Mangahas, Ralph Pantaleon, Anthony Manalo, Troy Casubuan, Joel Jujuri, Sigfred Levita, and Eric Canson. Team managers, Almer Almazora, Ivan Nocom, and Ruben Tan. Team owners, the Honorable Mayor, Jill Alonte. And now let's meet the starters for the Caloocan Kings Athletics Lady Kankaloo. At center, number 3, Sophie Felizarta. At forward, number 7, Janet Season. At guard, number 10, Roxanne Candido. The other forward, number 15, Dayan Pedregosa. And the other guard, the Baby Rocket, number 1, Ken Capilit. Their head coach is Brian Lacap. Assistant coaches, Alea Co and Yves Pascual. Team managers, MJ Abalos, James Manuel, Dr. Jesse Comia, and Dr. Jovito Paz. Team owners, Bianca Aline Digno, King Bacurel, and Angel Gomez. The referees for this matchup, crew chief, Jem Cyrus Taliedo, umpire 1, Elaine Marie Sobere, and umpire 2, June Versosa. This game is under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. This is your second season of the Women's Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang Liga ng Bawat Pilipina.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Starters officially underway para sa Biñan. It's Domingo Del Carmen, San Juan, Paraiso at Abaca. Para naman sa Caloocan, it's Capilit and the others, as well as we are looking at the very first game of today's doubleheader. End or extend. Para sa Caloocan, it is the latter. For Biñan, it's the former, hoping that they can ease their way patungo sa semifinals, where one of the 1 or the 2 seeds are currently waiting.
Again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to your WMPBL regular season. This is the quarterfinals. We talked about it at the top of our broadcast. One team looking to do what they normally do, which is win their games in convincing fashion. The other wanting to be the spoiler, the underdogs, overwhelming underdogs. Etong Caloocan Kings Athletics Lady Kankaloo.
Yep, I'm happy you've mentioned the word overwhelming. You've included in that one dahil ang current or yung naging regular season record nitong Caloocan ay 1-9. But we are reaching a point where the standings wouldn't even matter anymore because you can still make it. But Monique Del Carmen off to a great start para sa Biñan, and he's there for an defensive play. And they will be continuing this dahil hawak ito nitong si Domingo. Slowing down the play, bringing it over to the right side. Look at the post it up. Domingo showing herself, pero tila hindi niya ibibigay yon. They're just going at it. Kicking it out, Del Carmen. Not a 5 straight point game, but hey, it's a good shot whatsoever.
Again, they're letting Monique Del Carmen get her game going early. You see her there getting her first attempt, couple of points, and then that 3-pointer, just a bit short. It was straight. Just needed to put a little more muscle on that shot.
Pedregosa pick and pop. Unsuccessful. There was a good pickup. Right place, right time para kay Sophie Felizarta.
Turning trash into cash. Getting that offensive rebound. Sophie Felizarta, one of the veterans. Sabi nga ni Flo Del Agua kanina, ang ating courtside reporter wearing her all-black polo shirt.
Bakit mo naman sinasabi mo na? Sabi niya nga, sana doon nag-match. But
Di
anyway,
natin nasabihin.
hindi natin nasabihin.
Next time, sasabihin natin kay Flo.
We'll give you the memo next time. As of the moment, the memo has been taken by Caloocan. They're playing quite well over these first few minutes, and this is how they are on a usual, right? Nakakakuha sila ng kanilang composure from the start as Felizarta misses on that one. Now it's Biñan on the run. Del Carmen thinking about shooting. Lipat sa ilalim. Not gonna happen because he's gonna give it back. Ooh, overcooks that pass. Nagmamadali na naman ng Caloocan. Looking to give. Not so much. Here's the give. A shot. Won't go. Both teams kind of struggling in the first 3 minutes.
But I like that previous possession for Chuchi Paraiso. She knew exactly where Ara Abaca was going to be. Just couldn't get a handle on that leather on the other end naman. The attempts are there. They're getting those shots up. Just not falling para dito sa Caloocan early.
So Carmen is holding the ball once more. Abaca with the screen. 2 seconds on the shot. I like the idea mula sa Biñan. You give Del Carmen the reps. It hasn't been, coming into fruition sa ngayon, but hopefully sa pag nagtagal itong laban na to, we're gonna see that bit.
Oh, you want to see Monique Del Carmen get off to a good start, a hot start. In their round 1 matchup, she was the leading scorer para dito sa Biñan. She did get 17 points, 3 assists, 5 out of 8 from the 3-point area.
That was Kapilit turning it over para sa kupunan ng Caloocan. Pedregosa immediately went closer at sinabi nga, huwag mo munang kunin yun kaagad. But so far, here goes Kapilit looking to redeem herself from that error kanina. Kicking it out. Felizarta, some room. Nope, still not going in. But Pedregosa fighting for it again, turning around. Still, both teams ice cold in their offense para sa umpisa. But San Juan finally breaking the cold streak.
Good forward pass, Luisa San Juan. Giving that up fake just to get her balance and to see what the defender is going to do on that attempt.
There we go. Season again. A spark plug of this team immediately providing the much needed bucket. No look pass mula dito kay Abaca. And that is again going to be a defensive stop mula sa kupunan ng Caloocan. Just take a look at the aristocrat assist of the quarter. Right on the money para kay Luisa San Juan. But again, this is them for the first time in a while trailing 5-4, and this is the pace na gusto ng Caloocan.
It is what they want. Again, we've talked about it at the top of our broadcast. You just want to try and keep it close. Towards the end game, you want to be able to at least have a chance to get that win.
They've had a decent amount of 3-pointers. That moment, Season can't get it. From the other side, Del Carmen Patungo naman dito kay Fraon. There was a stiff arm located. An immediate offensive foul ang itatawag ng ating mga referees.
Can't use that off arm to ward off or try to create some separation. That's going to be an offensive foul every single time.
Still 5-4, almost reaching the halfway point in this first game of the quarterfinals. Dito mismo sa Paranaque City Coliseum. Obviously very brand new. All facilities have been amazing. And I gotta say, base sa mga nakukuha akong mga chismis kanina, Coach Anton, ito ang pinakaunang professional game na nilaro mismo dito sa Paranaque City Coliseum. And for these players, you wouldn't want it any other way. Kumbaga, ikaw ang in other terms nga, makakabinyag dun sa court mismo. Dibs.
Bagay naman, binyag. Malapit na. No.
You got jokes, I see you. Okay.
Alright.
I did not expect that from you. I'm gonna give that an 8 out of 10. I did not expect it, so it's pretty high. But hey, that was a free throw shot made by Diane Pedregosa.
You like it the way this Caloocan Lady Kankaloo side is playing. First 5 minutes of our game, they are up a couple of points. Bit of a slow start for the side of Biñan Tatak Gel Angels, Sailun Tires. Speaking of Biñan Tatak Gel Angels, give a quick shout out to Boss Ivan Nocum. Pretty sure he's watching. And of course, Mayor Gel Alonte. Always supporting ang Biñan at sa kanilang mga endeavors in terms of sports, basketball in particular.
But right now, his team is trailing by 2. But make that up by 1 dahil sa emergence kagad itong si Del Carmen.
That's the second attempt for Monique Del Carmen, I believe, knocking it down from deep.
Now they're looking at it. Candido. Oh, great pass. Fake, shot, score. That was Candido with a 2. Again, Biñan definitely going toe-to-toe against, or should I say Caloocan is going toe-to-toe against Biñan. And they're really playing good defense. Completely locked in the first 5 minutes of this game. Looking to keep composure. San Juan forgoes the basketball, but they will still be maintaining possession.
It tries to attack the defense of Janet Season, talking about with San Juan.
That is your Hotel Sogo So Good play of the quarter. Coming in from Monique Del Carmen. The bank is open on a Wednesday afternoon, of course, because usually it closes at 5. And then, there it goes again. Another shot using the bank. This time, Pedregosa naman.
Okay, Diane Pedregosa, she's one of those players that you can count on para dito sa Caloocan. Getting those points inside, she is a force inside the paint.
Pedregosa now has 3. They're going to be passing it low. Extra pass kay Faraon. Isabit ng konti, and Faraon is going to be going for 2 points at the free throw line. This is the first time para sa Biñan. Chiqui Faraon makes the first. This is already early minutes para kay Chiqui. We saw him, or we saw her kanina lamang na pumwesto kagad at the scorer's table to at least give some assistance. He splits that free throw, but at the same time, cuts the lead down itong Caloocan by just 2. Fighting for the basketball. Biglang extra rebound. Pedregosa naman. They wanted to kick it out using the baseline this time. Pedregosa with some room. That doesn't bounce off. Ball still in play. Some of that possession.
Couple of offensive rebounds for the side of Caloocan. They're just being very active on the boards, making sure they're gonna be able to get those extra possessions.
I think they're gonna have to talk this through. I'm talking about Biñan because they are trailing by 2. The 3 seed trails against the 6 seed 10-8.
Babalik po tayo dito sa quarterfinals ng WMPBL. Flo Dalago here on the sidelines with Hans Galleria and Coach Anton De Los Reyes on the panel. Let's quickly highlight Janet's season of Caloocan Kings Athletics. Lady Kankaloo in their previous matchup against Biñan, she did 8 points in 5 boards and was the running POG had they closed that game to their favor. When I spoke to her earlier, she had this very strong look on her face. Sabi niya sa akin, syempre kada laro bago matulog, naiisip ko din na nakakapagod din pala na matalo, lalo na kung alam Janet, lagi niyang tinuturo bilang coach, everything depends on your willingness to win. Lagi tayong isang decision lang away from getting a win. You have to decide that you want it. Back to you, gentlemen.
Maraming salamat, Flo. It seems like the decision from Caloocan is showcasing itself as of the moment. They're going toe-to-toe with this Biñan team, but they haven't found a way to stop itong si Monique Del Carmen. But maybe they have. They keep on answering with buckets, one after another. And it was Felizarta with an end one.
Maybe offense is going to be their best defense. Talking about itong Caloocan. As you see there, Sophie Felizarta taking it strong, getting that finish around the rim. They're playing, I would say, without pressure, pretty loose. Talking about this Caloocan squad, but all business. As Sophie Felizarta
4 points in this basketball game.
hindi nakangiti eh, kahit naka-end one. Poker face.
Locked in. That's what people would say.
That's what it is.
You know? Felizarta gets another chance as a lane violation from one of the people who were boxing out, but that second chance will come to no avail, but they will still lead by 2 points. Now it's Domingo looking to post up against Alpanghi. He gives it to Faraon. Attack again. Faraon can't make it happen. Tapikan na naman ang bola and bodies are on the floor. But great job from Alpanghi in actually keeping it alive. Although the possession arrow goes to the side of Biñan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's a bit tough not having Chaka Binbin and Eka Soriano.
You're right.
Players that we've gotten used to seeing for Biñan. I believe for Chaka Binbin, medyo may iniinda daw siya because of something happened in practice. I think it's something with her lower back, I believe.
But hey, one's loss is another woman's gain, and it is Monique Del Carmen's 10th point in this game.
I believe that's her second three-pointer
Oh,
as
yeah.
well, talking about Monique.
Now they only have 10 seconds to roll this off. Kapilit fighting with the screen. There's an opening. This time titira na lang. Still won't make it happen. Faraon with a rebound, and they're gonna slow it down.
Well, everything but the bucket there for Tiff Ngo. She was right there at the rim, just couldn't get that banker to go.
This time they want to go at it. Domingo finds the open lane. And all of a sudden, Biñan extends their lead up by 3.
That's just the great use of that ball screen up top. Chiqui Faraon, just enough to give Justine Domingo the space to drive.
15-12 with under a minute and 20 to go in the first quarter. Ngo trying to give a screen to Kapilit, who has been playing a lot of minutes in this first quarter. Alpanghi had the open room, instead choosing the open lane for the 2.
Tit for tat. You go take it strong, I'll take it strong as well, as Jean Alpanghi gets that drive to go.
Things are looking good for them as of the moment. You gotta appreciate what they have been doing from the start. Another turnover this time. Camagong wanted to fight for it. Not gonna happen. So instead, they will be keeping possession. But you see the fight mula dito sa Caloocan, Lady Kankaloo. That's what people would know. I used to be part of these, but not anymore. Hey, there's another shot. And what effort mula kay Alpanghi.
Getting those offensive rebounds. She knows where that ball is going to go. She did take that shot.
Now it's Caloocan up top, 16-15. 10 seconds left in that shot clock. Del Carmen with 10. They went for a shot, very difficult one. And Serrano gets it. 3 seconds remaining. Camagong has to take the shot. That was kind of forced, but it was the best shot that she had. And after the first 10 minutes of this game, Caloocan showing us some life in this first quarter. Man, they are leading by 1 in the first 10 minutes.
During that first quarter, we saw a couple of slow starts from both teams trying to get their games going. Monique Del Carmen finishing with 10 points, but a collective effort for the side of Caloocan. Sophie Felizarta, Alpangi with 4, Janet Season with 3. So this is what we want to see from Caloocan here in this game.
This is just the end of the first quarter, the second quarter when we return. To 15, and you are watching the quarterfinals of the second season of the Women's Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League Pro. Caloocan looking to extend this series dahil ang Biñan Tatak ay merong twice to beat advantage. Hans Galeria, Coach Anton de los Reyes, and Flo Del Agua, your broadcast crew for today's games. And so far, you gotta appreciate what Caloocan is bringing to the table.
We do appreciate what they are bringing to the table during that first quarter. 6 out of 19 from the field itong Caloocan, 31%. Ito namang Biñan Tatak Angels, 6 out of 14, 42%. But what's different is for Caloocan, they've got great ball movement going for them. 5 assists, only 2 turnovers. Para naman sa Biñan Tatak 7 turnovers. So that's gonna be tough. They need to check that, because they gave up 3 points off of those turnovers.
That was, again, incredible defense brought about, but I don't know if you're seeing it off screen. Monique Del Carmen is currently in pain. Consistently holding her left elbow. Hopefully it doesn't amount to anything, you know, bad or worse. And we see her come back later on in this game dahil nga sa kanyang naging ambag in that first quarter. 10 points out of Biñan's 15. Or yeah, should I say 15? But Faraon has missed on that free throw, so Caloocan is still gonna be leading by 1.
I want to know why Eka Soriano hasn't been fielded in this game. I know Chuck, she's hobbled, but I want to know why Eka Soriano. She's on the bench, but she's not playing.
That's again one of the mysteries that I think our courtside reporter will be filling in right away. Dahil sa ngayon ay nandun na siya to get the news on what really is going on. But at the same time, Caloocan is taking advantage of that. You know, no Soriano, no Kabinbin yet in the second quarter, and I think this is, you know, a way for them to maximize yung kanilang opensa. Well, those 2 star players are not yet there, as Alpangi misses on that.
Oh, because I mean, I gotta mention it for Chaka Binbin. That's 12 points, almost 7 rebounds per game, and 8 assists that you're missing. And then for Eka Soriano off the bench, 13 points per game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. So that's what, almost 30 points between those 2 players.
We're talking about pretty huge numbers.
Huge numbers indeed.
To be honest, na kailangang punuan ng mga naglalaro sa ngayon. And so far, they're still trying to test themselves sa kung paano ba nila gagawin yon, because Caloocan is really giving them a run for their money as of the moment.
Chiqui Faraon's going to get called for that offensive foul. She has to watch out, because she usually sticks her butt when she goes and gives out those picks.
But speaking of these picks, here's a pick for the Aristocrat assist of the quarter. That was Serrano again picking that up. This time, she had to turn around. That was great defense. They're looking to fight again. Enter into it, and a block was made nitong Biñan with 10 seconds, or should I say 7 seconds left in the shot clock.
Good defense being shown here by the side of Biñan on the interior, not allowing Chil Serrano, not allowing Tifno those buckets inside.
Yeah, it's been tough for both Serrano and Ngo in the paint compared dun sa mga nakita natin kanina. But they have been getting these offensive rebounds. So the third try will not happen, and instead, somebody's gonna go to the free throw line.
Yeah, reach and foul. It's Chuchi Paraiso that's going to get called for that foul. That's going to be her first. But again, those offensive rebounds, curious to see how many Caloocan has so far in this game. They've got 4 offensive rebounds so far.
Gonzalo with that first make, extending this Caloocan lead by 2, now 3, as she gets to make both. 20-17 is the score. And again, Caloocan looking to keep the same amount of pressure. But Domingo and the rest of Biñan wants to get their footing going. A 3 underway. That won't go. Solid box out so far. And that is a successful defensive stop para sa Caloocan. It's only been 2.5 minutes passing by. And Biñan looking to get their offense on a flow. And in spite of this, you know, being a close game, the reason why we're still continuously looking para doon sa mga magagandang bitaw nitong Biñan is because of how well they have been performing in the season.
That's something that, I mean, okay, I get how great Biñan has been during that regular season, but you also have to take into consideration those 2 players that we mentioned. Those are 2 catalysts, key players that run the offense of Coach Jack Ascueta.
So now Monique Del Carmen is assigned to, you know, take majority of those shots, and it's starting to make sense. You know, kanina we saw Del Carmen take majority of the shots in the first quarter, and she's had 10. Fortunately, she is back on the court after having something na medyo masakit sa kanyang siko. Yeah, it's been tough to, you know, look at it, watch it, but eventually, kung kaya niya namang makabalik, why not? This is a very important game. Every game is important from here on out.
It is the playoffs, so you've got to show up.
Santos just made 2 free throws kani-kanina lamang, and now Biñan seems like they've found a new fire in this current game. 5 seconds to go in the shot clock. Del Carmen hits the back rim. And then the hands of Caloocan players in the process. But Biñan's going to be keeping possession.
Good try to get some points inside the paint, not settling for those outside shots. I always say that, and I feel like I keep repeating myself that when you shoot those outside shots, it seems like you're settling instead of being aggressive, trying to get your rhythm, trying to get those points inside the paint.
It's going to be it. 5 seconds remaining. Biñan's going to have to pull up quick. San Juan was ready, and he makes it deadly. That was Luisa San Juan getting the 3.
First 3-pointer with the shot clock winding down. You gotta love the presence of mind of Wiz San Juan to pull up, knock down that left corner 3.
Oh, that was pretty solid. But Coach Ryan Lacap is fuming about a certain call from where it was. I think he was trying to contest something in their favor. I'm quite unsure what it is, but it's enough for him to be, you know, very frustrated about, or very frustrated for the officials. And because of that, Del Carmen's gonna have a free throw.
Yeah, technical foul on Coach Brian Lacap. I'm not quite sure if it was because of a dribbling violation on this end, because parang nung bago pinulot yung bola to give up that pass to
San Juan,
to Wiz San Juan, parang I think nag-dribble muna and then pinulot and then din-dribble ulit. So parang I think that's what he was contesting. It's either that or hindi daw nahawakan ng taga Caloocan that time.
Yeah. I think that's also one of the few pointers na nakita natin while we're here, but our officials are obviously trying to be as on the dot as possible with their calls. And for Caloocan, No matter how frustrated Coach Brian Lacap has been, na-maintain naman nila yung kanilang footing so far in this game, but they only have 9 seconds to get it across. Make it 5 now. Pedregosa gives it to a friend. Shot underway. That won't go. Camagong kicks it out. 3 from Feliz Sarta. Can't happen again. But a bunch of takes from the box out is going to be giving Caloocan another chance.
There's going to be a holding on that box out. I think it's going to be called on Danica. Yeah. It's going to be on Danica Pasha. Dan Pasha, rather.
Marcos, isa din sa mga bagong pasok in this current game, will be able to fish a foul once more. Mula dito kay Claude Santos that just got back into this ballgame as well. And I think with that, Biñan is officially at penalty situation with 5:54 to go. So Caloocan can make the most out of this.
This is something that they want to be able to do. They are trailing. They can keep it close with these free throws. Time is going to stop. They're going to get some opportunities to get those points. So again, for the side of Caloocan, this is where you want to be. You're happy where you're at, keeping it close. Just a 1-point lead after a couple of free throws made by Kate the Elbow Marcos.
2 for 2 para kay Marcos sa ngayon. Now they're looking down bottom. Extra passes, one after another, with a shot made by Paraiso.
Did you like that attack to the rack and then that cut to the baseline and then another dive to the bucket for the finish?
To get it over to Kapilit. Chooses the right side. Had a slight opening, a very slight one. And now it's Del Carmen tossing it over to Santos. Full speed ahead. Pressing on the bricks this time. Hanap ng tamang tempo with Del Carmen getting the open lane.
Secondary break, you like it that you're able to find your teammate running down middle, giving up that pass.
Gonzalo had the shot, and that is an and one. Pretty solid attack from Gonzalo. This was the extra pass. That was a so good play of the quarter. 3 players combining forces or joining forces for 2 points. But now we're looking at Gonzalo making that again. It's to know more about what's been happening because we had a lot of questions. Flo, it's your time to shine. What's up?
Let me answer those questions. Earlier, Coach Anton mentioned that we may not be seeing much of Chaka Binbin for Biñan. Nung kinumusta ko siya, sabi niya, nag-tight nga daw ang kanyang lower back until this afternoon, giving her a 6 out of 10 pain level whenever she moves. Nung nakaraan daw kasi, nag-training siya sa Army nung umaga, kinahapunan, nag-training naman siya for Biñan. So for Chak, it's fatigue and no minutes today. Same goes with Eka Soriano, who's been struggling with a fever these past few days. Ni hindi nga daw siya nakapunta sa kanilang huling training. So no presence for her as well, aside from being on that bench. And for Monique Del Carmen, with the impact earlier, may narinig daw siyang pumitik dahil na-sandwich yung kanyang braso, resulting to a muscle strain. But right now, she is visibly settling with being taped dahil sabi niya mismo sa akin, mahirap manood. Caloocan is being more aggressive than ever. Hansen, Coach Anton.
Maraming salamat, Flo. And again, first question finally answered. Second question that I was just about to ask. You know, I didn't even have it in the first place. But Monique Del Carmen, still solid to have her on the floor. Pero hindi natin maitatanggi. Ang iniinda ay iniinda pa rin kahit anong mangyari. But her services are going to be much needed in every single game for Biñan.
It's going to be tough again, Eka Soriano. So she is nursing a fever, or she was nursing a fever, hasn't been able to practice. Just for safety. Hindi na lang siya papalarin. Same goes for Chaka Binbin. No? 2 a days. Ang lupit.
Ang tindi nun.
Ang tindi nun.
As in, like pinapakinggan ko pa lang si Flo kanina, napapagod na ako, Coach Anton. That's just athletes for you. When they are so passionate with what they do. Faraon is going to be getting the next 2-pointer. 5 points for her in total. An opening from the midi won't work para dito kay Marcos. This is a 4-point lead Itong Biñan holding their own without their two star players. So far, Caloocan has done their best pero parang nahanap na rin kasi ng kupunan ng Biñan yung kanilang galaw with a continuation of play as Santos converts on the two.
Well, they've found their groove. They've found a way to be able to play without their 2-point guards.
Oh, I guess that's not gonna count. Yeah, we're gonna be keeping it at 25-29. We're fixing it in just a bit. But we're already there at the halfway point. This is 25-31. Or should I say it counts? It's a 6-point lead. Now to get rid of the confusion, let's get it to the other side. An attack using the board, kind of overcooked it. And Biñan having all momentum dahil nananakbo na silang lahat. Abaka missing on it. Gets a second chance. Faraon wants to attack. Loses the basketball. Del Carmen wide open. That's a banger.
Extra pass by Wiz San Juan, giving it up to her wide open teammate, but a foot away from that 3-point area. Did not matter as she splashes that one home. Here's that extra pass, that wide open three. Monique Del Carmen tickles the twine.
I wonder what popped. Maybe it was her because she is popping in this game so far. They calling the timeout. Of course, we have some very important people here inside the Paranaque City Coliseum. I think without them, this would not have been possible.
Would not have been possible without, of course, our executive committee always present. Of course, Commissioner Wmpbl, Press John Calios, Boss Ivan Tracy also in the house, in good company on Commissioner's Row.
They get, first dibs as to what is happening here at the Paranaque City Coliseum. Of course, we're also inviting the others who are currently outside of this venue. You want to see some good hoops, quarterfinal action, this is the place to go because you're missing out on San Juan getting those three-pointers.
Back-to-back three-pointers para dito sa Biñan. They're trying to pull away towards the end of our first half.
For the first time in this game, we have a double-digit lead, a 12 para sa Biñan at ito ang kanilang pinakamalaki. But for Pedregosa, that post-up to the basket worked for her because she will be going to the free throw line to shoot for two.
With San Juan giving up that foul, I'm not surprised. She was the one who made the shot earlier, so naturally she's going to give up that foul on the other end.
Pedregosa couldn't get the friendly roll on that basket. She gets an extra chance. At alam mo yun, Coach, tila hindi na lang natin namalayan eh. It suddenly became a 12-point lead.
I remember it was just 31-25 earlier and then a 6-0 blast to give this lead. But that free throw, 6-1 run now for the side of Biñan.
From what we're saying kanina lamang, the same intensity should be kept. But there's a lot of three-pointers that are now going in para sa Biñan.
Their last 3 field goals have been three-pointers. Talking about itong Biñan Tatak Gel Angels Sailun Tires.
Third three para kay San Juan. 11 points in total and a rejection from Del Carmen. That's the deadly duo from Biñan in the first half.
And that's what's exciting about this team of Biñan. You've got the tandem of Eka Soriano and Chaka Binbin, and you have the shooters, Monique Del Carmen and Wiz San Juan.
We're already past the 2-minute mark, and Pedregosa was able to land a 2-pointer. Should I say that was, right? From here on out, play continues again Felisarta was open, but instead they went with a shot. It was open too. An extra chance para sa Caloocan. Kapilit lets it fly. Short. Abaca gets the rebound, and Domingo is going to be speeding up the process with San Juan waiting on the other side. Playing 1v1. Pop-up J. Won't go. Oh, that was a mistake. Mula dito sa Caloocan as they get an extra chance and slowing it down with 10 seconds to go. 5 in the shot clock. San Juan. That was just too open for Wiz.
Too easy. Ara Abaca, you getting that ball, giving that ball screen. Luisa San Juan using it perfectly, going downhill, down the middle.
Candido, shot. Still can't convert. And I believe Felisarta is going to be called for a loose ball foul or a pushing foul. Either way, it's going Biñan side.
It's a tough shot for Roxanne Candido, the challenge. Ara Abaca right there. But here's that drive by Wiz San Juan using that ball screen by Ara Abaca up top. Then going downhill with the finish.
Again, just a little too much of an opening para sa kanilang kupunan sa ngayon. And this is the biggest that Biñan has. Or should I say it was 15 a while ago. 42-28 with 50 seconds left in this first half. Abaca looks to post up. Gives it straight up to Domingo for that easy shot.
How easy was that pass? Justin Domingo using the glass. This is the biggest lead now, I believe. 16 points for Biñan.
You're right about that, Coach Anton. There's a slight force used by Season. Cannot convert on that one. 25 seconds to go. San Juan waiting on the other side. Faraon still found a way to score after all that.
Pass was a bit too strong, but with San Juan able to tap that ball over to Chiqui, finishing right in front of the rim.
And no matter how slow of a start it was, parang nahanap na ng Biñan ng perfect formula in order to get over the defense that was really intense from Caloocan a few minutes ago.
6 3-pointers so far para dito sa side ng Biñan. So that's been the difference here in the second quarter. They were able to knock down 4 out of that 6.
Tin Kapilit finally scoring her first point. Make that her first set of points in this game. Cutting the lead down to 16. Easier way for them to get across from that. Scrambling for the ball are the girls. 5 seconds remaining. Faraon still has it. Quick shot won't go. 2 seconds. Not sure if she's aware of the time. Apparently she isn't. So Caloocan will be ending this respective quarter without the last shot at their hands. And Biñan fully gathering momentum in the second quarter.
Well, they were able to knock down their 3-pointers. Talking about etong Biñan, giving them this lead. Four 3-pointers here. Also a bevy of drives and points inside the paint. This lead ballooning. Remember, during that first quarter, it was only a 1-point lead for Caloocan, but a 31-14 run para dito sa side ng Biñan, giving them this 46-30 lead.
A 16-point lead in the second half. Ayan yung mapapanood sa aming pagbabalik. 46-30. Halftime after 20 minutes. So far in this game, Biñan is leading pretty well after quite a slow start. Mula sa nakita natin kanina, for everybody who just tuned in, you are still watching the second season of the women's, or should I say the second season of the Wmpbl Pro. Third seed, Biñan Tatak are leading big time after the second quarter. At para sa Caloocan, what seemed to be a strong start for them ay hindi nila masyadong na-sustain at the second quarter.
Ayun na nga, that has been the problem for this Caloocan Kings Athletic Lady Kankaloo side, finishing at 23% during that half. We saw them shooting it well nung first quarter, albeit a slow start for both of these teams. But in that second quarter, action picked up. The three-point shots of Biñan starting to fall. 4 3-pointers in that second quarter, 6 out of 16. That's Monique Del Carmen and Wiz San Juan sharing the three-point scoring, that load. The rebounding story, 31-27 for the side, up for the side of Biñan.
And here it is, the top scorers after 20 minutes. It's Del Carmen and San Juan combining forces as per usual, and this is to be expected mula sa dalawang mga manlalarong ito with, you know, both Cabinbin and Soriano missing action.
There you go. They are more than making up for the absence of those two players. We've talked about it during our break na yung hati ng scoring na almost 20, I would say 26, 28 points combined for Soriano and Cabinbin.
And at this moment, if you are Caloocan, you have Pedregosa with 7. But other than that, we haven't seen any other players score somewhere with more than 2 field goals. Dahil nga 10 field goals lang yung nakuha nila in that first half. What exactly can they do to at least get back dun sa nakagawian nila kanina nung first 10 minutes?
They were moving that ball around a lot better during that first quarter. Remember, they had 5 assists compared to just 2 para sa Biñan, and then they ended at just 3 assists or 3 extra assists. So they ended with 8 assists. Habang ang Biñan naman, from 2 assists, biglang naging 13. So that's an 11 assist difference, plus 11 dun sa side ng Biñan in that second quarter.
Yeah, I felt like, you know, with Biñan speeding up the tempo even more dito sa laban na to, it felt like they had more players included or involved in the play. Meanwhile, Caloocan, there were some scenarios that they were forcing a bunch of shots, and that wasn't the smartest idea for them in that moment. I felt like the thought of Biñan finally catching up to them is starting to put them at the pressure. And, you know, it felt like there had to be some other way for them to figure out kung paano ba sila aangat in certain moments or scenarios like this. But for now, this is Biñan definitely showing that history can repeat itself, because over the first 2 games, they were really smoking them in those games where it's at least 40 points ang kanilang lamang in a minimum, and that says a lot.
Yeah, 35 points in their first round matchup, 40-point win in their second round matchup. Pero yun nga, like what you were saying, malamig sila sa simula, but then they get their groove, no? Parang diesel etong Biñan pagkalaban nilang Caloocan.
And back we go. That diesel engine has picked up its tempo from here on out. But Domingo is going to be missing that first field goal attempt for now. Caloocan, I felt like they definitely had a good talk from Coach Brian Laca, because we also saw him kind of frustrated from a while ago.
A lot of things that he was unhappy with, talking about Coach Brian Laca, but I'm pretty sure he was super happy after that first quarter. But again, basketball is 4 quarters. You got to be able to go ahead and sustain that kind of intensity all throughout if you want to be able to go ahead and get a win.
Pedregosa kicks it out. That's a 3 on the way, and that is an opening that Kapilit can give.
Just the second 3-pointer of the game. Tin Kapilit on that right corner.
Kapilit finally has it. San Juan gustong bumawi. She's had the hot hand. 3 3-pointers in that first half. Can't replicate that so far just yet. But now it's a quick 5 points. Itong Caloocan with Camagong finally joining the party.
Just an 11-point lead. I was about to say, a couple of makes, couple of stops could change the complexion of this game. Swing the momentum to the side of Caloocan.
Another kick out. San Juan, some room. Still can't buy a basket. Itong Biñan in the first few minutes of this game. There's a slight opening. Camagong, 3. Won't go. Offensive rebound. Outstretched arms itong si Biñan. No call from the officials. Someone was looking behind. And it seems like Camagong was also surprised that San Juan had the goods in store.
How do you like that transition bucket with San Juan? Ahead of everyone else. Getting that pass and finishing.
Our officials are looking to put a stoppage on the play.
Is that Roxanne Candido?
Yep.
Yeah. Hope she's okay.
Seems to be a moment for her. I wonder what happened. She's holding on to a part of her leg, and hopefully it gets better from here on out. Now Serrano gives it to the middle. May dalawa sanang gustong kumuha nun, but hey, as long as there was one who can get it and put it in the basket, it's all fine.
That's the important thing, as John Camagong cutting down the lane, getting that pass. Nag-agawang pa sila doon ni Diane.
Now Sison gets the steal, looking to fight through. And she gets the foul. So far, Caloocan are turning on the Jets in this first 2.5 minutes of the third quarter.
7-2 run para dito sa Caloocan to start the third. We may see those odd quarters go the way of Caloocan and then the even go to Biñan. But if Caloocan wants to win this game, they have to take that even quarter as well. Talking about that fourth quarter.
Sison only had 3 points in the first half, adding another to the tally and more, as you can make it 5, and we are officially at a single, nope, not a single digit margin as yet, but this is 10 points, still within striking distance for Caloocan if they can stop Biñan in their tracks. Almost a steal. Abaca kicks it out. 3 underway. Won't go. San Juan gets another rebound. And that was a warm-up shot mula kay Domingo.
Luisa San Juan getting her own miss and then giving it up to Justine Domingo.
3 cannot be converted. Itong si Kapilit.
Straight and through. Just short on the attempt for Tin.
Turnover mula sa Biñan. Camagong had an opening. And a shot rolls off the basket. Would have been a big-time bucket para sa Caloocan.
Just couldn't get that to fall. Talking about Joan Camagong.
Yep, but here is a mission failed successfully. The aristocrat assist of the quarter. She wanted it to go to Pedregosa. But hey, if Camagong was there, you know what? I'll just go ahead and take it.
Why not? A 2 is a 2. Talking about that play by Joan Camagong. She's good on the first. So still, just a 10-point deficit para dito sa Biñan.
And we've talked about her from the start, right? She's averaging 7.3 points, if I remember correctly. She was unable to contribute in that first half, scoreless in the first 2 quarters, but she has 6 in the third. It could not have come at a better time. 50-41, officially at single-digit deficit ang Caloocan. Biñan has been trusting their threes this game. It hasn't fallen in the third, so now they're going to be looking at a bit more towards the paint. And now a turnover leads to an attack. Ooh, that's an extra step. Would have wanted to go at it, making that 4 straight points para dito kay Kinko, but it's not going to happen just yet.
Angel can't go back-to-back on her attempts inside the paint. There's that floater by Angel earlier.
Kapilit shoots a three. That's good.
There you go. Finally got her shot calibrated. Kapilit cutting this lead down to just 8 points.
The Lady Kankaloo are making things interesting in this third quarter. The Baka is going to be testing the defense. Kinko waiting on the other side. Well defended by Caloocan. A chance to cut it down to 2 possessions. As that is still going to be Caloocan Lady Kankaloo ball. But they're starting to be fight. You know, they're starting to be some signs of life mula sa orange shirts.
14-6 run. If that's not a sign of life, I don't know what is for the side of Caloocan Kings Athletics, Lady Kankaloo.
And Kapilit scores again, a total of 10 points now para kay Tin Kapilit. And the lead goes down to 6.
And we were looking for helpers in terms of scoring, and Tin Kapilit doing a good job now getting those points for Caloocan.
5 minutes remaining in the third. Caloocan getting some stops on one end and making buckets on the other. A three is underway. Won't go. But Camagong had an extra rebound. Kapilit wants to go at it. Gives it to Serrano. Gives an extra pass. A shot. And one. Camagong. 8 points in the third.
A great play. Short roll by Chil Serrano, and then that cut by Joan Camagong on that baseline. Chil Serrano, great pass, great read.
This is your so good play of the quarter. So nice. You had to see it twice. Brought to you by Hotel Sogo. So clean, so good. And that was so strong mula kay Camagong. All 8 points in the third quarter. That is a masterful way to approach. I wonder what they talked about or what really happened in that huddle. Let's listen to Flo for more info.
Let's hear it for the side of Caloocan Kings Athletics. Quick update on Roxanne Candido. May naramdaman daw na pumitik sa kanyang tuhod, pero hindi naman daw kasakitan. Nung kinamusta ko siya, lamang lang yung trauma dahil na-injure na ito a few games ago. Pero mas lamang pa rin yung gusto niya na makapasok ulit dahil ibang klase daw yung napag-usapan nila sa halftime kanina. You know, from a team that a lot of people expected to be predictable, that halftime dugout of Caloocan was unexpectedly emotional. Halo-halo kasi yung nararamdaman ng team. Some of them are frustrated with the calls during the first half, and some of them are fueled with intensity sa mga gusto nilang gawin dito sa second half. Isa sa mga umangat na dialogues, Caloocan recognized, as well as Joan Camagong. Sabi niya, wala na nga yung ibang key players ng Biñan. Parang binibigyan na nila tayo ng chance na manalo. But after all these mixed feelings, ultimately, it was Coach Brian Lacap that had the final say. Ibaba natin yung emosyon natin and let's come out differently in the third quarter. Are you guys seeing this already? Hans and Coach Anton.
Yes, we are. Maraming salamat, Flo Del Agua, for that. There's more composure. There seems to be a lot more discipline in this specific game. You know, they're not looking or they're not batting a side eye towards the refs whenever calls are not going their way. They're just continuously fighting and giving the defense that Biñan is having a hard time with in terms of making the shots. And now the lead goes down to 4.
I like that report by Flo saying that, you know, the emotions, they've let go of the emotions and they've just go ahead and just come out to play. And that is what you need to do. You gotta be objective when it comes to basketball.
And look at this. Some extra offensive rebounds means extra possessions in season. Had an angle on it. Did not use it whatsoever. And at this moment, Caloocan are getting more chances in this third quarter.
18-6 run so far for Caloocan. You like what you're seeing. You love what you're seeing if you're Coach Brian Lacap. His team not giving up.
No objections.
Sabi nga natin, overwhelming underdogs etong Caloocan.
But so far, they're overwhelming Biñan in this third quarter as Felizarta locks in another 2-pointer, 6 for Sophie. And the lead is now down to just 4.
So Sophie Felizarta, all business inside, getting her points around that bucket, around that painted area.
Kinko, on the other hand, converts on an and one.
Great bounce pass, Monique Del Carmen. executing that pick and roll play to perfection.
Kung si Camagong ay 8 points all in the third quarter, I don't think we've seen Kinko in the first
Angel,
half,
yep.
but at the same time, she scored 4
There you go.
in this current matchup. Extra free throw will not be converted, so the lead will be staying at 4. So we did arrive at a 2-pointer from a while ago, a 2-point lead nitong Biñan. But of course, as Coach Brian Lacap has mentioned, you have to get your emotions in check. That would have been big para kay Camagong.
That would have been something indeed. Top of the key 3, just off left.
Del Carmen now facing the defense. Faraon gives a screen. Del Carmen had an opening. Tosses it to Cheeky. Faraon turns around. Cannot convert. And they'll be getting extra possession. You see the Caloocan players complaining already. But Coach Brian immediately tried to give command to tell Caloocan to chill. This has been an emotional roller coaster para sa Caloocan Lady Kankaloo. But if an emotional roller coaster gives them a 4-point lead, I think they'll take it. (54-50). This is simply just a 4-point game. And major props and shoutouts nga pala sa mga energizers natin na nandito sa Paranaque City Coliseum. The ones cheering for the teams and the ones giving us snacks, you know who you are.
Yep.
San Juan missing on that 3. Kinko.
Huge otap.
Yep. A huge otap. You see the crunch. You know, or you hear the crunch, you feel the pop.
It is what it is.
I don't know what else to tell you, but it's been pretty solid for me and Coach Anton. But so far, 1.3 seconds. They're going to have to make the most out of this. And that is going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. Caloocan playing with lock-in mentality.
Great defense being shown by Caloocan here in the third. Like I talked about, 20-8 runs so far. They are locking it in from D.
Now Marcos wanted to toss it to the other side. San Juan taps it to a friend. Takbuhan na naman ngayon ang Biñan. She sees Kinko, turns around, takes the shot and makes it in.
Great move. She could have bailed herself out, giving that pass to Wiz San Juan wide open on that right wing, but inside the shaded area, Angel Kinko makes the most out of it, getting a couple of points.
56-50. They're trying to show some fight. Season doesn't want to swing it, instead gets rejected. And now an attack happens. San Juan thought about it. Now here's Del Carmen. She has not scored in this third quarter yet. But the ball will be staying with Biñan to give her another chance to go at it.
Active hands from Janet Season, getting a hand on that ball, tapping it away from Monique.
Here's Del Carmen with a 3. Short. Look at Kinko fighting for the rebound, and that's a foul. It will be called on Felizarta, and I think sa mga ganitong klase ng senaryo, sa oras na ganito, Coach Anton, you have to be worried about your front court having a lot of fouls.
And again, Sophie Felizarta, she's one of the veterans for the side of Coach Brian Lacap. You need her veteran presence inside. Now she's going to have to sit down. That's her third personal foul. Talking about Sophie.
It's definitely going to be tough for them in the last minute and 39, because that is where Biñan can do the damage the most.
We could go on that. Remember, in that first quarter, or second quarter rather, it was just a 6-point lead, and then all of a sudden it was what, 12, and then 15, 16. Those points come in bunches for Biñan if you've got a couple of shooters like Monique Del Carmen and Wiz San Juan.
Speaking of shooters, something's underway, just not the bottom of the net. Still, the lead is at 7 with 1:20 to go, and Alpanghi will be called for a foul.
Reaching in, trying to stop Justine Domingo on that break. Frustrated that she missed on that 3-point attempt was Jean Alpanghi.
This is still a 7-point lead. Hawak-hawak nitong Biñan. No matter how, tough the Caloocan Lady Kankaloo managed to try to close the distance, ay may sagot kahit papano itong Biñan after leading by as much as 16 points.
Yun naman yung maganda, diba? You're unfazed. This lead was cut down to 2.
Yep.
That was the lowest it was here in the third. But not panicking, just running their system, their offense.
Oh, a technical foul is going to be called against, I believe, the head coach of Biñan. I think he was complaining to a call. Same with Coach Brian Lacap in that first half. So this will be another chance for Caloocan to inch the gap closer.
Diane makes the free throw.
Of course, that's the important part.
Yun.
And to think, Coach, na itong si Pedregosa yung leading scorer para sa Caloocan kaninang first half with 7 points. But this is her first point in this third quarter. It means that there were others who have actually stepped up to help.
And that's what we want. You were talking about it at the break. Who else is going to step up? Because everyone else, other than the 7 points of Diane Pedregosa, everyone was at 4 points. No one was above 5 points during the break, during the half.
But now we're seeing players like Tin Kapilit, John Camagong, and of course, Diane Pedregosa joining in on the party as well. There goes a tap. Not gonna happen, as the pass was a little too strong for Faraon's liking. Possession goes back to Caloocan.
Here's another opportunity for Caloocan to cut this lead down. They'd be in good position moving into the fourth.
Oh, that was a little too strong. And that's a turnover. Faraon looking to charge right at center court. Does it herself.
Just went all the way. Was Chicky Faraon. Looked too easy for her.
And again, Caloocan scrambling to get the ball across. Faraon thought about it. Gives it to Kinko. And one.
Big to big action para dito sa side ng Biñan, resulting in an and-one play. Look at that cut. And the shot from Angel Kinko.
All 9 points in the third quarter. She is limping on her way to the free throw line, as seen in the replay a while ago. But of course, if you are the coaching staff of this Biñan team, you cannot help but admire the limited minutes, but also very contributing minutes, if I should say.
Again, Angel Kinko, you gotta love the fact that off the bench, she's played, what, 11 minutes. She's able to contribute about a point a minute. Almost a point a minute.
That's a solid stat if I've ever seen one.
The plus minus on that one.
Yep. 13 seconds left. Kind of went a little too under para sa Biñan. 7 seconds left in the third. Oh, that's a quick trigger, but not the best shot available. With a second left, San Juan's not even gonna throw it. And a surge from Caloocan was starting off this third. They've managed to cut it down to 2, but Biñan had answers to boost it up back to 11.
They had that 20-8 run, before this 20-15 run, it was a 7-1 run for Biñan to be able to again give them this 11-point lead. And they did it slowly but surely with that full court press, getting turnovers after turnovers.
Biñan wants to go to the semis right away, but Caloocan wants to extend. Which story will continue? Biñan has had a bunch of contributing factors, but so is Caloocan. Del Carmen showing up in the first half and Camagong in the third quarter.
And we were talking about this Monique Del Carmen. You see her there with 13 points per game. John Camagong with 7 points per game. It's the veteran versus the rookie for today's game in that key matchup.
And both of them going above their averages in this specific game, with Camagong having 8 points, with Del Carmen having 16. And, you know, this
9
is...
points, huh?
Yeah.
Nine rebounds, rather, for
All
Monique
right.
as well. So, almost a double-double performance for Monique.
all while facilitating too. That's pretty solid for the number one option in this game. Para sa kanilang koponan, Faraon from way out. She can shoot. That's a fact.
Bit of a surprise for Chiqui Faraon. Look at her teammates, Eka Soriano. She doesn't look like she's sick. He's celebrating on the sideline after that three from Chiqui.
She got healed by that three-pointer. But hey, Candido wants to answer right away, but that is a momentum shot if I ever seen one.
Good to see Roxanne is okay. Remember, she had to leave in that third quarter because of an injury, a knee injury, but seems to be okay as with San Juan knocks down a midi.
A total of 17 points para kay San Juan. Lead goes up to 14 again. Biñan's largest lead was 16. And so far, it feels like they've all have it under control again. Faraon this time wants to go left, stops, gives, shoots, lays, doesn't score. But there's a pickup. And all momentum is going the side of Biñan.
Weak side offensive rebound for Chuchi Paraiso, and then the putback gets a foul. Chance for a three-point play the old-fashioned way.
Again, the outstretched arms nitong si Chuchi Paraiso has salvaged another possession para sa kanilang kupunan with another chance of adding more to it again. Could not convert on the free throw. So the biggest lead stays at 16. So balik na naman tayo dun sa pinanggalingan natin kanina nung first half. But there are some answers from Tin Kapilit. As late as it may, it's better late than never.
And she is going to cut this lead down to just 10 points. Talking about Tin Kapilit after that three-pointer, I believe. Or is it going to stay at 13? It's going to stay at 13.
These are some very aggressive approaches to the basket para dito kay Chuchi and the rest of Biñan. And I guess there's also some talks about how it was for the third seed as we headed over to Flo del Agua.
Hans, I'm glad that you mentioned earlier Del Carmen being the number one option and Faraon as well as Paraiso playing a great second half here. But this girl, she started this season with heroics when Biñan was at the top of the standings. However, in the middle of the season, she seemed like she hid in the background. But before this quarterfinals game started, she confidently told me, I'm back in my groove. 3 quarters later, she is one of the team's leading scorers. So gentlemen, let's talk about her. Let's talk about Luisa San Juan. Inamin niya sa akin kanina kanina, season of revelations para sa akin ito. I learned that I couldn't get away with just attacking and scoring. I also had to play my part in defense. Ito daw kasi yung binabanggit na sakit ni Wiz, kaya nagkukulang siya sa minutes in several games. But quietly, she worked out her defense, she re-earned her spot, and she finally learned minsan sa depensa mo din pala makukuha yung confidence mo sa pag-score. All for now, gentlemen.
You know, I think I can also add to that story. We were also partners during that time, Coach Anton, where you've mentioned that since the trade, itong si Wiz San Juan should be the one that I'm supposed to be looking out for. But it wasn't there from the start with this team. Pero ngayon, nag-add siya up to it. I think you also have some thoughts about it due to the report nitong si Flo de la Agua. But for now, I guess we're gonna have a timeout for now because of the fact that Biñan is back at the largest lead of this game. (72-56). Still tuning in here at the second season of the Women's Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League Pro. Hans Galeria, Coach Anton de los Reyes, and of course Flo del Agua at courtside. And you just heard kanina lamang speak about Luisa San Juan's confidence, and I think you also have a piece about that, Coach.
No, I like the fact that she's working on her defense. It is something that we always say as coaches, that there is no day off, or there is no off night rather, when it comes to defense. And if you are an offensive player, there's no reason for you not to be a good defensive player. Why? Because alam mo yung moves na gagawin ng kalaban mo kasi ikaw din ginagawa mo yun eh. So you, in your mind, you should know, ito gagawin din yan because this is what I would do in their situation if I'm a good offensive player.
And I think from where we're looking, it's a mix of both ngayon para kay Wiz San Juan. She's contributed a total of 17 points, and there are some pieces that we probably haven't seen yet as Faraon's made the first free throw, and your aristocrat assist of the quarter was right there with Camagong finally getting points 9th and 10th in that possession. Faraon with both.
This is an excellent ball game for Chiqui Faraon. She's got 15 points, 13 rebounds in today's game. Great quarterfinals showing for Chiqui.
And to think that she came off the bench, that's already a lot to be expected and a lot delivered para kay Faraon as the lead goes back to 16. This has been the barrier na sinusubukang basagin ng Caloocan over and over. That's a traveling violation. Again, we've been seeing them try, time and time again, itong Caloocan. This is not their matchups from before kontra dito sa Biñan, as they now, have an actual chance of being able to fight back. Pero knowing Biñan, they always have answers.
They do indeed. Talking about Biñan, just a lot of firepower, and one of them coming in the form of a Monique Del Carmen, scoring her,
I believe that's 18 points.
18, yeah. Her 18th point.
Yep, the 18th point, and at the same time, for an 18-point lead that went down to 16 after that Serrano bucket.
That's a tough matchup. Talking about Chil Serrano.
Oh, yeah.
She's about almost 6 feet tall. Pretty strong player. Hard to stop inside.
Fucandido probably had to hit it off Chuchi Paraiso's knee to stay in position, but this is going to allow Biñan to set up their defense even more. With 6 minutes to go, it has been a little bit tough para sa Caloocan as no responses on the paint have been given by Biñan. And I think one of Biñan's players, specifically Monique Del Carmen, is gesturing for the coaching staff to challenge, and that's exactly what we're gonna do.
Pwede mo nga namang gamitin talaga yan. So, for sure, you want to be able to use that bago matapos ang ating ball game. Whether or not it's going to be successful or unsuccessful, that's like an extra timeout for your team.
Gives you some room to talk things through if you're Caloocan. Gives you some time to rest and hydrate a bit if you're Biñan. Here's the challenge that they were trying to figure out where from. Oh. Okay.
There you go. Here's a better angle. So that looks like it was last touch on Monique.
Yeah, I think she was...
Well, she blocked it. So
yeah, she did block it.
I'm not quite sure why she's saying she didn't touch it.
I think she was hoping that the ball would hit it last, but obviously it didn't.
She was looking at it. There's none, and she blocked the shot.
Yep.
So pretty much that's going to be last touch on you. You'll see it here. There's the block.
Did not touch whatsoever.
She didn't touch it there. I don't know if it touched the back of...
yeah, from an angle, I don't think it did. Yeah, I don't think it did.
Exactly.
So it will stay. It should stay.
Yeah.
With Caloocan. Again, it's a great block, nevertheless.
It's a great block. I'm a bit surprised why Monique was looking for the challenge, right? Like,
well, it is what it is.
You blocked it.
Yeah, you blocked it anyway.
Monique,
it's a great block. Proceed to the next play. But now I think Caloocan is going to be talking things over as this is another timeout called. Biñan still holding on to a 16-point lead. We had to pause on that for a bit, but now we're back into the ball game with Kapilit trying to force that pass inside. She gets it again. A floater on the way, won't work. Now Del Carmen doesn't evade that basketball, proceeds to go straight up. Gives a shot, won't go. Chuchi fighting for it again and again and again.
Just at the right place at the right time. Chuchi Paraiso around the bucket, getting that miss from Sachi Jimenez.
How many times has she done that in this game?
A
Honestly,
lot, I would
you
say.
know, it feels like,
at the very minimum, maybe
right?
2-3 times
Yeah.
that Chuchi is able to get those offensive boards.
You know, just when Caloocan thought na, okay, sa atin na to, sige na, baba na kayo. A wild Chuchi Paraiso appears and she suddenly
Saves the day.
Saves the day. I was going to say, here she goes again, but that didn't happen. Pedregosa was ready for that moment.
Claude Santos rattles that three-pointer out from the right corner.
Oh, that was a block from behind. She's going to try again. That ball goes out. A third possession. A third attempt. The same player. You know what? Mas kailangan yata na malayo, Coach Anton eh.
Why not? Lehan Pedregosa knocking down that right wing three.
11 points para kay Pedregosa. A warm-up shot won't go. Takbuhan na naman sila ngayon. Candido chooses right. Takes the shot. Won't go in. Pedregosa for an offensive rebound. Kapilit lines up a three. That's good.
A good pass. Chili Serrano, unselfishness on full display, giving it up to the wide open Tin Kapilit.
That's pretty solid. Coming from your big to just dish the ball, trust the teammate for a better shot. Paraiso wanted to join in on the party. It's not going to happen just yet. Candido uses some speed. Now they're setting it up. 15 seconds in that shot clock. Kapilit. Quick three won't go. Lead is just 12. They're still trying to fight through and continue. Now Jimenez is going to be kicking it out. Gives it to a wide open shooter. Won't go again. Orange shirts have a numbers. And Kapilit is going to take the two.
Couple of players up ahead. Tin Kapilit finishing on the break. There's that fight. There's that fight from Caloocan.
Yup, some last minutes of effort. Ang ibinibigay ng paulit-ulit ay 3 from Pedregosa, a 3 from Kapilit, a layup from Kapilit, and defensive stops every single time. The lead is just down to 10, but do they have enough time to catch up and make this a ball game? Of course, you gotta appreciate Active, our official basketball of the Women's Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. And that is the ball that is used in this first match, where Caloocan has managed to answer, I believe, 7 straight points. Del Carmen. Dinikdik itong si Kapilit dun sa screen and forces her way into the basket.
No help coming on that drive by Monique Del Carmen, just sneaking her way, stretching for that layup.
20-point performance mula dito kay Del Carmen. Oh, what a fader mula kay Serrano, and the bench loves that fader.
Chili Serrano, a good shot inside the paint.
That's almost a steal. It is successful. They're gonna pass it to the back. A shot is made. Felizarta has made it.
Tin Kapilit giving it up to Sophie Felizarta. Her big running, going down middle.
This is an 8-point ball game with both Caloocan and Biñan not even having team fouls. I'm not sure if I'm seeing this correctly.
I don't know. Let's go ahead and check.
Have they made free throws a while ago? They have, right?
I saw a technical free throw.
You know what I saw?
That's for sure.
A so good play of the quarter. Brought to you by Hotel Sogo. So clean, so good. But my goodness. Okay, this is a free throw. There should be something there. But you know what? Fine.
It means Caloocan is in the penalty because that was a non-shooting foul from Wiz San Juan.
You know, that does make a lot of sense. You know, I never really caught that. That's why you're the coach, Coach
There
Antonio.
you go.
With San Juan, got a bucket. Lead up to 9 points, but only 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. Does Caloocan have enough in them to shoot over and over? Unfortunately for Kapilit, it did not go the way she wanted.
It's a good backdoor play.
Oh, yeah.
She just hesitated on that jumper, talking about Tin Kapilit. She was looking for the floater.
San Juan just using the room she was given to get the bucket.
Made that one look easy, talking about Wiz San Juan.
Shooter on the way, Sison. Can't seem to buy a bucket again. She's been quiet in the second half. And that was a slight tap. I thought she was able to get it, but it did not happen. Kaya naman ngayon ay mas makikita natin itong Biñan to enforce. I feel like a bucket is gonna close this game for good, but I wouldn't really count Caloocan out just yet.
Just the second under a couple of minutes here for our game.
Here goes Del Carmen. Going up against Candido. Using the screen. And then Del Carmen all of a sudden just rises up and nobody was there.
She just stepped on the gas, did not give up that bounce pass to the rolling Chuchi Paraiso. That's a good read to be able to get a couple of points on that layup.
22 points for Monique Del Carmen. Caloocan doesn't have a lot of time. That's an extra rebound. A shot is made. So some field goals are desperately needed by Caloocan as they trail by 11. That was Season lining it up.
Full court press para dito sa Caloocan. Try and hopefully force a turnover.
Domingo wants to go at it. Kinko given the screen. An opening. Give, go, shoot, and score. And that might be it. Chuchi Paraiso. Right place, right time, at all times in this game.
See it again. Justine Domingo just driving inside and then dropping it off at the last minute to Chuchi Paraiso.
A minute and 12 with Biñan holding to a 13-point lead.
Still in the game.
1 minute and 12 seconds to go. If Biñan wins this, they are going to be our third semi-finalists in the second season of the Wmpbl Pro. But if Caloocan manages to pull off a miracle, we will see another edition of this ball game. But do they have it in them? Looking
We
for
have
some.
about a minute and 5 seconds to
Oh,
find
yeah.
out.
That's pretty quick in basketball terms. So they're going to have to pull something up their sleeve. Felisarta hits the back iron. And with an extra bucket, this might be wraps para sa Biñan. Slide screen. Felisarta going over it. And that's a traveling violation called against them. So there have been some windows given to Caloocan Lady Kankaloo, not just in this one, but for the first half, or third quarter rather, as they were able to close it out to just 2 points with the, absence of some star players from Biñan. But you have to admire the Angel Sailun Tire for pulling this off in spite of those two key factors not being here in this game.
And you love the fact that there have been some players that have stepped up. Of course, Monique Del Carmen having to score 9 points more than her usual average. Chiqui Faraon as well, getting 15 points from her. And with San Juan, let's not forget, excellent game.
And right now, that's an extra possession that was stolen away. Itong si Kapilit gives it to a friend. Pedregosa's not gonna have it. And with that being said, with 10 seconds remaining, the third semi-finalists that will be moving on with an icing of a cake of a 13-point lead is Biñan Tatak Gel Angels. Sailun Tire with a 13-point victory against the Caloocan Lady Kankaloo. This will wrap up their season, but you have to admire what the ladies wearing orange shirts have pulled off in this story.
Again, for Biñan, the overwhelming favorites in this game to be able to pull this one out and move on to the semifinals. They are going to be facing Batangas, the defending champion. So that is, I don't know if you're going to call that a reward, but again, the overwhelming underdogs, Caloocan, they put up a great fight, I would say.
The important part is that they're the ones who move forward, right? No matter how tough the competition is gonna be like, ang mahalaga ay nandun pa rin sila. But for Caloocan, it was a valiant effort. We saw them trying to close the gap, but eventually, players like Monique Del Carmen, Chuchi Paraiso, Chiki Faraon, they've all contributed big time in this specific game to lock it in for good.
There you go. Again, those types of players that you want to step up in the absence of a couple of key players. Something that, of course, Coach Jack Ascueta is very, very happy about. No? Next woman up for the Biñan Tatak Gel Angels Sailun Tires.
And honestly, I feel like yung tatlo mga manlalarong yon ay bonus na lang ulit because you're still waiting for Eka Soriano. You're waiting for Chak Kabinbin. And from where we're currently looking at, Biñan could only go stronger from here. And this is definitely the moment for them to pick up where they left off and bring this type of momentum kontra dun sa 1 seed.
Again, this is gonna carry over to that semi-final round, so that's something that you want to at least be able to bank on moving forward.
Yep, and with that being said, I think it is time for us to know more about the MVP of this game together with our courtside reporter, Flo Del Agua. Flo, take us with it.
Maraming salamat, Hans. Bago ko po siya ipakilala, nakikita niyo po ito sa highway. Nasa billboard po ang kanyang mukha. And Monique Del Carmen is our most trusted player of the game. Monique, double-double performance for you today. Parang ang dami nang umiidolo sa'yo dahil nga nakikita ka nila sa billboard. But early in this game, you sustained an injury on your arm. Still, towards the final minutes of the game, nilaban mo pa rin eh. At narinig kita sa bench nun, sabi mo hindi ako makapasok. Where was that coming from?
It's the playoffs kasi, syempre, you don't want to, kahit na sila yung sa dulo, hindi mo naman pwedeng maliitin kung sino sa bilog ang bola. So, I'm just grateful na nanalo kami. Thank you, Lord.
Balikan natin yung sinabi mo, Monique, it is the playoffs. Sabi mo sa akin, isa sa mga goals nyo as a team, yung wag ma-focus masyado yung opensa sa ilang players lang. During the second half, alam mo ba, meron ding isang player na double-double. It's Chiki Faraon. Anong thoughts mo na merong nabuong ganitong development within your team? Saktong-sakto papunta tayo sa semifinals.
Yeah, I'm happy lang na may nag-step up. Yun naman yung pinaka-goal namin for this game na mag-step up, not just yung usual na naglalaro or nagpo-produce ng points. So I'm very happy for Chiki. Good job, Chiki.
And your message as well to your teammates sa mga sumusuporta sa Biñan Tatak Gel Angels. Meron kaya tang listahan dyan na kailangang basahin, Monique. Let's get it over with. Go ahead.
Before that, I just want to say thank you to my family, Del Carmen family, Mauricio family, and Sadang family, and sa True Focus family. Thank you sa skills training na binibigay nyo sa akin. Sa Physio Lab, kay Coach Noel, who always there to give me program every day. And thank you kay Mayor Jel Alonte, Boss Ivan Nokum, Boss Rubentan, Sailun Tire, Sec Dave Gomez, Saints Basketball, NGCP, AAA Sportswear, Knickerbocker, Porky's Lechon, Kare-Kare Nibala, Trains Place, Ballers Pit, and yeah. Maraming salamat po. Thank you, Lord.
Batang True Focus pala si Monique Del Carmen. Kaya pala, congratulations once again. Biñan Tatak Gel Angels, Sailun Tire booking a ticket to the semifinals. Your final thoughts, gentlemen?
I mean, this was just an incredible game from start to finish. Again, congratulations to Monique Del Carmen and to Biñan for advancing. Just some quick thoughts about this game. What exactly happened for those that have missed us on the way?
Again, Biñan just stamping their class in their game, stepping up other players in the absence of two key players in Chak Kabinbin and Eka Soriano. Chiki Faraon having a great performance.
This was an incredible start towards what we saw in the first game, but we're not just going to end there just yet because Quezon City and Pasig will be going head-to-head against each other, one hoping to end and the other to extend this series sa pagbabalik ng second season ng Wmpbl Pro.
Ito ang liga ng bawat Pilipinang maharlika. Buong bansa'y makikita ang husay ng bawat Pilipina. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. biik na tagpo, handang-handa lahat sa paglalaro, ilabas ang tinatagong talento. Maharlika, walang imposible, aabante hanggang sa